Well, good day, everybody. Glad you can join me today. So today, it's going to be another mixture, but it's going to be different from my first one. My first one was the yarrow plant. I added 40% alcohol in it, and I'm making a bug repellent. Well, that's what I'm going to use it for. If you want, you can also take that daily, and that'll also help with a lot of your illnesses and stuff like this. It's a great stuff. But because it's an alcohol, I'll use that as a bug repellent. Now, right now, with all the ingredients that I have here on my table, I'm going to make another tincture. This time, this is going to be fire cider. That's right, fire cider. It's that time of year where, colds and flus, it's prone. Everybody's going to get colds and flus. So it's time to protect yourself. So right now, it's a great boost of energy during the cold and flu season. It has antiviral, circulatory, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial properties. It's nothing but pure goodness. So that's what we're going to make. Now, there's a lot of people and a lot of ways to make it. It's all over the internet. But if you just type in making fire cider, there's all kinds of videos. So this is just my way of doing it. And you got to remember, there's a lot of people out there that when they're bedridden, they're sick, they got a cold, their nose is runny, they just don't feel up to par. The very first thing they're going to turn to is they're going to make themselves a nice tea. They're going to add some ginger, some lemon, some honey, and they'll sip on that. And then until they feel better. Once they get their energy back and they start moving around, well, you know what? If you go just a little bit further and add the ingredients that I have on the table, it's going to be even stronger and more effective. When you have the cold and flu season upon us, you got to be protected. So right now, I have jalapenos, all right, powdered cayenne pepper, red onions, black pepper, okay. Also, I'm using the organic apple cider, okay, and if you look closely, it's non-pasteurized and it's raw. It's in its raw form. Now, I only got 4 there, but I bought 10 because it's going to take a lot to fill up that jar, because in that jar there, I put over 80 ounces of liquid. So I plan to do the same. All right, so I got ginger root. Love ginger. It's great stuff. Okay, and right there, tamarack, pure. It's a root, and I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to put 2 lemons, maybe more, but that's going to be it's going to be everything. I'm going to zest it up, cut it up, quarter it, peel and all. It's all going to go in there. I have a couple bags of garlic, fresh garlic. I'm going to dice all that up, put it in there. Thyme, yes, it's going in there. Nothing but pure goodness. And everybody should know what horseradish looks like. Well, this is a horseradish root, nice and fresh. So I'm going to grate that and also put that in there. Then once everything is in that jar, I'm going to top it up with the raw apple cider vinegar. Make sure it's 3-4 inches of liquid over top of the product. Then I'm going to leave that in my cupboards 4 to 6 weeks, turning it every day and making sure that everything extracts, because when you add stuff like what I did with that one, okay, I use the alcohol. So the alcohol, it extracts all the ingredients out of there very well. But then when you got oils and vinegars and stuff like this, it's more or less being infused. And that's what we're going to do today. But either way, it's a tincture, and that's what we're going to make today. All right, so I'm not going to bore you with all the cutting and stuff like that, but I'll put the recipe in the bottom of what I do. But you got to remember, I'm filling up that massive jar right there. So, anyways, I'll get right back to you. So I'm glad you guys dropped by, and let's make ourselves some fire cider. All right. See you in a few minutes once everything's chopped up. Okay, just before I start cutting everything up, um, basically, if you're going to put, let's say, a gallon jug or something like that, you can use one red onion, chop it real good, 3 heads of garlic, crushed, sliced, and diced. Put a half a cup of grated ginger. Then you could also put a half a cup of turmeric and make sure that's grated real nice. Myself, I'll be leaving all the skins and everything on because most of your vitamins and most of your goodness is in all the skins and everything, especially the peels on the lemon and everything, right? So that's all going to go in there. I'm going to do a quarter cup. Well, I'll probably end up doing more, but you could put a quarter cup of grated horseradish. You could peel it, get all the goodness in there, use whatever it is. Then after that, just freeze it. Keep it for your next batch or keep it for another dish. Okay, now thyme. I got a lot of thyme there. So I'm going to probably use about a quarter cup of fresh thyme. I'm going to chop that up also. And then jalapenos right there. I'm going to use 3 for the batch, maybe even more. But I'm also going to use probably, let's say, I'm going to go with a half a teaspoon, maybe a little bit more of the cayenne pepper. It's going to be a hot mix. It's going to be spicy, but it's going to be good. Oh, and what you guys can do too, if you find it a little too spicy and you want to sweeten it up, just use a little bit of raw honey, mix it into your mix, and if it doesn't mix well, just heat it up a little bit for, if you want to dissolve it. Myself, I'm not going to bother, I don't think, because if I'm going to be using it during the cold and flu season, I'll probably just, use the liquid, take a tablespoon every morning, and then if I do come down with something, I'll take a few tablespoons throughout the day. Now, if I find that I need something a little sweeter, well, then I'll just make a tea with it and then add a little bit of honey in my tea. So anyways, that's what I'm going to be doing, and this stuff works great. All right, so also remember, the vitamins in here are unbelievable. Nothing but goodness in there. Lots. It's loaded and loaded with vitamin C. And this is going to help clear up your congestive lungs and your nasal passages like 10. So anyways, I'll start cutting everything up and I'll let you know exactly what I put in that big jar right there. Okay? So I'll get back to you once that's all chopped up. See you in a bit. Okay, so the product's made. Fire cider. Now what you're going to have to do is look up the ingredients to read about their medicinal properties. But just to let you know, make sure you mark it very well. I'm going to mark it the same as what I did with the Root. There's my tape marker, and I'll mark that as fire cider. Now, as you can see by the pictures that I've added, there's 2 teaspoons of black pepper, 2 teaspoons powdered cayenne pepper. I got 2 large red onions, 6 large jalapenos. Now, firmly packed, I have 1.5 cups of fresh ginger root, 1 cup of turmeric, fresh, 1.5 cups horseradish, fresh, 1.5 cups of garlic, which is 6 large heads, finely chopped. Now, that's what's in that jar. I also put in 2 liters of apple cider vinegar. Okay, that's non-filtered and it's raw state. That's what's in there. Now, I'm going to mix that probably in a day or 2, but for now, I filled it up to the top. I got some floaties in it. My lid is the same as that one. It's a metal lid. So I'm going to put a piece of parchment paper on there so that it separates the content from a metal lid. Then I'm going to let it sit probably until the new year and see how much it settles. Then I'll probably have to add some more liquid. The more it settles, the more liquid I'll add. Now this here will have to probably ferment and do its magic from, let's say, 3 to 6 weeks. Then once you feel that it's ready, you can strain everything, bottle it, and then whenever you feel like a cold or a flu's coming on, or somebody close to you has a cold or a flu and you just want to protect yourself, take a tablespoon of that every day. And then once your body builds up an immune to it, it'll help fight against the virus that causes the common cold and the flu. When you're down in the dumps, not feeling well at all, then what you can do every 3 to 4 hours, take a tablespoon. It'll help build up your energy and help you fight that cold and that flu. So anyways, just a short little video while I put together some fire cider. So you guys take care. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, hit that bell icon, drop down a comment or 2. I'd like to see what you think about this. Bye now.